Y'all, let's talk about Call of Duty. For those that know me, my relationship with COD goes together like old people in showering, and with me talking so highly of the franchise before, what could I possibly talk about now? Well, you'd be surprised. So today, let's equip the Dead Silence perk and spam the jump button as we briefly talk about Modern Warfare 3. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to sub to the channel and tap the bell to all. Okay, let's continue. So we all know that Modern Warfare 3 just wrapped up their PlayStation Access beta, with the rest of the world being able to play it later this week. The hype is real too. There are people screaming and touting as loud as they can that COD is back. Ain't it weird how damn near every Call of Duty game that's come out in the past decade is touted as the grand return of the older COD games? And it mostly comes from the creators that still want to remain in good standing with Activision? That's a different topic for a different day. We got to see COD Next, and while I was too focused on another game I was invited to playtest called Alara Prime, video on that later, I really want to focus on two elements of what they showed us: the multiplayer and the zombies. Starting with the multiplayer, the teasers showed a really good job of what the multiplayer has become: an arcade shooter. They didn't really pull any of the typical bait and switch bullshit where they showcase a new, innovative experience and then ruin it less than a year later by putting in Nicki Minaj and pay-to-win bundles. What I'm not a fan of is the fact that they clinged on to the past like someone who peaked in high school. For a lot of people, all they had to hear was and would immediately start seething at the mouth, because the last time we all heard that song was all the way back in 2009 for Modern Warfare 2. 14 years later, and it's back with more than half the words being distorted to amplify the intensity of the teaser. But this is where I want to talk about one of my main gripes, because the biggest thing I'm seeing people be upset about is that they're solely selling the game from a nostalgic standpoint, because all the launch maps from the OG MW2 are remastered and redone for this game. I think even Makarov is playing a huge influence in the campaign. The list goes on, right? In all honesty, it feels like they're trying to say, hey guys, our bad. You know, Modern Warfare 22 isn't what you wanted, so here's all the older stuff you wanted for over 10 years now. We're sorry about that. It's almost like they're trying to cover up how badly Modern Warfare 22 was received by making Modern Warfare 23 the true Modern Warfare 22 experience, and more so now since they're celebrating 20 years of COD. Here's my stance on it. There's nothing inherently wrong with using nostalgia to make a sale, right? Companies are doing it now more than ever before, but where it becomes a problem for me is when it becomes apparent and obvious that's all you give a shit about. But with that being said, I do think it's cool they're bringing back these classic maps and they're trying to deliver us something we actually want. I also think it's pretty cool that they're allowing you to transfer everything from Modern Warfare 22 into Modern Warfare 23. It's not enough for me to make poor financial decisions and buy this game, but it's still cool to see from a distance. So far, the beta has been handled well enough. I mean, there was an exploit for Battle Rage that seemingly made your player invincible, but that was fixed pretty quickly. As far as I know, there's a hacking issue going on with the beta, and this has had the entire PlayStation community be like, what? I thought only PC players could hack. Guys, we are in the year 2023. Okay, and you didn't realize that you could mod and hack on consoles? I remember people being able to hack in Halo 3, Modern Warfare 2, GTA 4, and most of the time, all it took was a computer and a USB stick. That's it. And if not that, you just hook up your 360 to Modio and mod the files yourself. Now, in all honesty, Sledgehammer is going to be improving some things going into weekend 2 of the beta that include operator visibility, slide timing, and spawn selections. And listen, I really don't know what any of that necessarily means, so there's that. It's one of them wait and see kind of situations. I think that's about it I can think of for the multiplayer side of things for now until I get into my final thoughts. I'm looking forward to playing the open beta just to see how the game plays, but that's about all it's getting from me. Now, let's touch on the zombies, because I've been playing this mode ever since World at War, and it's one that I've enjoyed up to a point. The leaks and rumors about the new zombies mode being essentially Outbreak 2.0 were right, but this has the entire zombies community pissed off beyond belief. The main reason being, and this is what I'm assuming, a lot of them don't like the fact that this is going to be an open world 24-player PvE experience, and they would rather just go back to the 4-player based round stuff. The only other reason I can think of is that this mode isn't free to play. And that right there, I don't understand. I really don't understand why they couldn't make this mode free to play, especially since you're just taking DMZ, taking out the PvP aspect and putting in zombies instead. I'll be the first one to admit, I think this concept of zombies is better than what we've been given in the past handful of years. Outbreak was okay when it initially came out, but the maps were smaller than a puppy's piss puddle. These maps are huge, they're expansive, and they open up a lot of possibilities for future content. In fact, I made a tweet about this, and one of the reasons I think this mode should be free is because there's really no reason for it to be behind a $70 paywall, especially since this mode may just be shadowed by the other game modes, just like how DMZ is right now. Now, I am thankful that Treyarch was given the reins for the zombies mode, because personally, I think Treyarch is just the better COD developer overall, but I hope that they can do something to make this mode stand out as something unique. I think that's about it I want to cover for now. They also briefly talked about WarZone and WarZone Mobile, which guys, if I'm being honest, I could give a bear's pubes about at the end of the day. I'm actually more inclined to play WarZone Mobile, but I'll probably just stick to COD Mobile if that doesn't work. For my final thoughts, personally, there's so much to dissect because as much as I and all the other COD detractors hate to admit it, they're giving us the experience the community is wanting. The community is tired of the fake milsim facades. They're tired of being told that COD is back just for it to go back to being a shitty $70 COD Mobile experience. And they're tired of feeling like they're not being listened to. Here's an example. In Modern Warfare 22, people were screaming that they wanted Modern Warfare 19 movement back. And even when Activision went in and tried to make the movement a little bit better, it still wasn't good enough. One of the biggest things I noticed is that the movement is cranked up again, and I'll be honest, the movement is why I couldn't get into Modern Warfare 19. But Blackout, Modern Warfare 19 is the best COD game to come out in the past handful of years. The movement was the best. I don't know about that, Chief. With the average Modern Warfare 19 player wanting to go faster than the fucking speed of light, the multiplayer just felt like a comp game every single time, and it really didn't feel like something enjoyable and something casual. Personally, I preferred Black Ops Cold War because even though the multiplayer started off terribly, it got to a state where it was enjoyable and really fun. It crossed that threshold between being an arcade shooter and being something more grounded in reality. And I'm not saying realism, I'm just saying it made sense a little bit. I'm also not talking about making sense about these goofy ass cartoon bundles that they put into the game later on. I'm solely talking about the movement. Plus, I will die on the hill that Black Ops Cold War's movement is nowhere near as bad as what Modern Warfare 22's movement is right now. Now, aside from all of that, I'm noticing something else going on in the community, and that being that the people that hate the franchise the most tend to speak the loudest. If I'm gonna keep it a $150 with all of you, I think I'm at a point where I've outgrown the franchise personally. I don't like the movement. I don't like the future the franchise is heading towards, and all my past videos I've made about the game aren't going to impact the future of the franchise. So instead of me being a nail in the tires for those that enjoy it, I'm just gonna move on from it. You know, I recently saw Ninja go off on the COD fanbase saying that they're mentally disturbed fans that are essentially going to get fooled again like they do every year. And here's the thing, if that's the case, let that be the case. Call of Duty is essentially the Madden 2K yearly FOMO extravaganza that people will buy, play, get tired of, and then wait for the next release. It's been like that for the past 20 years, but if it's something that people want to prioritize in their lives, more power to them. Besides, Ninja is primarily known for Halo 3, H1Z1, PUBG, Fortnite, giving free streaming advice locked behind a paywall, and even having a fucking skin in Raid Shadow Legends. These comments would mean a lot more if it were coming from someone like Tim, Doc, Nick, Scump, and the list goes on. Not to say that anybody can't throw their hat in the ring because hell, I have plenty of times already. But me giving feedback about the franchise compared to someone I previously mentioned giving feedback means literally nothing. At the end of the day, buy the game or don't. It ain't that damn serious. And now I turn the mic to you. Let me know down below what you think about Modern Warfare 3. And while you're down there, go ahead and smash that like button and repackage that sub button also YouTube can show you my content free of charge. This is Sir Blackout signing off and preparing for X Defy. Oh, son of a bitch.